Hi everyone. Oops. This is Dr. Victoria Skirbo speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. Today is Monday, March 25th. Over the weekend we had the Mueller report released, and then Barr and Rosenstein spent a couple of days or however hour, who knows, coming up with a statement exonerating the president from coordinated collusion, coordinated connection with the Russians to affect the campaign, to affect the election. So there was this, and so from what was said, it seems like the Mueller investigation was for a very specific question, a question that was already difficult to ascertain, to find what is that, beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a high standard. And then the fact that they made it coordinated, you put the word coordinated in there, made it even more so. And so if you listen to what the president's people are saying and the president's fans, he's completely exonerated, but that is not the truth of the matter. Now, whether or not the Mueller investigation, the whole report will come out, you can bet that the Republicans are going to try to stop that at every turn. Probably not just because they don't want us to realize just how many things the Trump administration did that could get them in trouble. But I believe there are connections with, there are other things going on. They found other connections that they would prefer that we don't look at. The idea that they would want it to come out to protect America, I think is a little foolish on our part. They have proven themselves to be totally partisan and not really caring about the people or the country, as far as I can see. Now, that's my opinion, and you could disagree with me, certainly. But now, all being said, it ain't over. The Mueller investigation uncovered a lot of stuff, and there have been indictments, and there will probably continue to be indictments as Mueller handed off information and cases to other jurisdictions. So, let's see what it is that we are to learn from this situation. Now, I realized that the other day I asked about the Mueller report, and it did say that, according to how I read the cards, that it would be proven. The specific charge was not proven, and so in that respect I am incorrect. But I do believe that a lot of the things that we believed to be true about this administration will bear out in time. And the outcome card for that particular reading was the Empress. And it's kind of a strange card to come out as an outcome in the question that I asked about the Mueller report and whether it was going to prove whether or not he was guilty of a collusion, which I know is not a legal term, but whatever the legal term was, coordinated effort to interfere with the election, perhaps. The Empress's gestation, it's something is you're given something is given birth to. And the card that came up in the domestic situation was the Queen of Cups, which is the woman looking into the cup. I stated that our intuition is correct. And then at the end, I flipped over the cards and we got the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups is obfuscation. So things are not clear at this point. That doesn't mean that they won't be clear. We still have to do some detective work, so to speak, in order to get there, to see what's going to come up of it. And I want to, and I know some people got very upset and they said they're not going to watch me anymore. And certainly if you don't want to watch me, that is your prerogative, okay? I do these cards not just to give a view into another perspective, but I use it myself to help me find perspective. And I share it with you in the hopes that it can give you some comfort and a higher perspective on the situation. I almost feel, and this is just my feelings about this, I almost feel like now that the Mueller report is done, we can just get on with it. And I don't mean just get on with life. I mean get on with seeing what this president is really about. Because it's as if with the Mueller report being there, we were going to leave it in the hands of, this special counsel, this whatever. And it was sort of, we wanted to see what the process would show us. And again, we're not seeing everything, so it's not like it's over in any way, shape, or form. But now it's about us getting down to the business of living our lives. And part of that living that life is to uncover the truth. And in uncovering the truth, we have to start with uncovering the truth of our own lives. What does your life stand for? What are you doing? How are you contributing to uncover the truth of who you are? And I think that on a meta level, this is really about our awakening. I've always said that. I've always said that Donald Trump is an agent for us to wake up, to see things as they really are. This is a process. The United States is going through a Pluto return cycle. And it's happening, it's been going on. I believe it went into orb of that at 9/11. If we give it a 10 or 15 degree orb where Pluto sat on 9/11 and moves to, was it Pluto sitting? Maybe it wasn't quite that. It might have been 2008. But all the same, we have been going through this Pluto return cycle. Pluto is death and rebirth, and the United States has Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto in Capricorn is abuses of power and a real look at the whole structure of power and how it is wielded. And so we have to, as a country, have to come to terms with how we have wielded power. We have to come to terms with the fact that we say that we're, a government formed by the people, but the truth of it is that's not the truth. The truth is that we have an oligarchy, just like they have in Russia. And we need to realize that democracy and the structures of democracy can only work if we have a free press and we have an educated populace. Okay, those are part of the pillars of how democracy is going to work, and that we're represented. And so we have to fight for that representation. We can't take it for granted anymore. Okay, so that's what I want to say to start this. All right, now I want to do a reading just to see what it is that we were to learn from this experience up to this point, the Mueller investigation up to this point. What are we here to learn? How can we utilize what we've just experienced to broaden our horizons and increase our understanding? Okay. I'm going to cut the cards and I'll just put them up. Oops. I'm using the Tarot of the Spirit because it is a spiritual tarot, and I think there's a lot of spiritual lessons to be learned. Okay, and here we have the immediate environment as the Empress. And this is the card that came as the outcome card for the reading on the Mueller investigation. So we have a continuation of the energy of the goddess. This is the rising of the feminine, people. This is creative imagination. This is requiring us to create our world through our imaginative faculty. It's not about reason. It's about visualizing what it is that you want to see. So if you want to see a fairer world, you need to visualize it. It's also connected to the sign of Venus. To the planet Venus. Venus right now is in Aquarius. Venus has been in Aquarius this whole time. Venus in Aquarius is about the love for the common good, working toward the common good, love of humanity. This whole thing is trying to teach us about love. Venus is love. The Empress is love. And it's a balanced love. It's a balance between the feminine and the masculine. On the Tree of Life, this card is the pathway between Chokmah, the divine masculine, and Bina, the divine feminine. And we need to connect both of those parts to ourselves in order to, hold on one second, Boo, shush, Boo agrees, in order to become whole. Let's see the challenge. Okay, we have the Nine of Earth. This is the Nine of Pentacles. I'm not sure how it means a challenge, but it'll come up. Let's see what's at the root of this. The Three of Pentacles. This is about doing the work that you love. This is about working, finding what it is that you're good at, and doing it, and doing the work. This is a master. This is a mastery card. And we're being required to master what we do. What we do. I'm sorry, I can't say that. There's a sentence there, but it isn't coming out right. Mercury's still retrograde, folks. So, give me some slack here. All right, so we have that at the root. So at the root, we have to figure out what it is. Okay, the crossing card. This is one of the cards of wealth, and oftentimes the idle rich, right? And so there's this, perhaps the crossing card to this whole thing is the idle rich, or not even just them as people, but the whole idea of the idle rich. Making your money make money for you, which is, there's really nothing wrong with that. But taken to the extreme, what's your purpose? What's your purpose? We're being asked to find our purpose. How can we affect the world? And if you're just amassing a fortune so that you can hang around at the spa, are you really doing something? You look at people like the Gateses, right? They have a lot of money, but they're doing stuff to help people. So it's not like the rich don't help people, but not all of them do. And this is a challenge. This is a challenge to perhaps reorient ourselves. And I'm not saying that most of the people who are watching here are looking to become the idle rich. Most of the people that watch me have lived, as far as I can tell from my interactions with you guys, have lived good lives of service in one way or another to other people. And that has to become sort of the mantra for us, that has to be the mantra. Let's see what's in the past. Okay, this is the Seven of Wands. This is the Courage card, the courage to continue. This is actually the card that came up, the first card that came up in the Mueller investigation reading, the present situation. To have the courage to continue to fight. And perhaps that's what that card meant. See, in retrospect, it's easy to figure out what the cards mean. When you're doing it, it ain't so easy. And you always have your own sense of things. You'll have your own wants and desires. You want things to work out in a certain way. It's very difficult, at least for me. in the way that I read, to take myself out of the picture. I've never found the tarot to be able to do that. Astrology is a little easier to take yourself out of the picture than it is with cards. Okay, let's see what's in the sky. And we have the Brother of Water. This is the Knight of Cups. This is about the dream. This is about the idealized vision. And so we need to keep the dream alive, and yet realize that it is an idealization and that life isn't necessarily like that. And so we have to learn how to deal with that. That we're not always going to get what we want. You can't always get what you want, but you get what you need, says Jagger and Richards. The immediate future, we have the power. Okay, the power. So this is a 4 of Earth. This is 6 weeks out. The power, the people who have the power, the people who have the money are going to be wielding that power. Okay, so be aware of that. Be aware that probably things are not going to move necessarily in the direction of truth and the opening of that. But there is a key in this card right there, the keyhole. So there's an opening. I think we just have to wait for our moment with that. How it's seen from outside. Okay, we have the Mother of Water. This is the Queen of Cups. This came up as our domestic situation. Emotional times. Just a very emotional time. People see this as a highly charged, emotional. We have a lot of sadness here. We have a lot of glee. We have all the emotions here. What we need to have to one another is compassion. And that's what this card, this is Kuan Yin. I don't know if you can see her. But that would be the best way to look at it. And I think that perhaps people from the outside do have compassion for our situation. Yeah, I think that there are many people who are rooting for clarity and rooting for things to be uncovered and seen for what they are. It's not just us in this country. And I had somebody say that 50% or over 50% of the people were dancing in the streets because Trump got exonerated. I don't see that percentage. But of course, you do attract the people who think like you. You do attract the energy that you put out. And so if I'm putting out the energy for love and compassion and understanding and, seeking out the truth, I'm going to get people who vibrate that way. People who are in denial of the truth of the situation are not going to be attracted to me. This is the domestic situation. This is the universe card. So this is saying that this part of it is over and done. It's about closing the circle. But it's also about something new to begin. So this part of it is over, and now we have to work on whatever the next thing is that comes with this. Hopes and fears. We have the 8 of Wind. This is in this deck is called the Power Shield. This is the 8 of Swords, the woman who's walking through the swords with the blindfold on. I'm sure many of us felt like that. I'm sure Mueller at times felt like that as well. The fear is that we're going to have to continue to walk through the swords with the blinders on. Perhaps. That card requires us to utilize our intuition to not see what we normally see. She has a blindfold on. So the things we normally look for, we can't find the answers that way. and you know, we're very much in America a doing kind of place. Like when you're in America, somebody says, "So what do you do?" Like that's the question. What are you doing? It's all about doing in America. When you have your hands tied behind your back, can't do much. You got the thing over your face. So there's another part of ourselves that we have to access in order to move forward, and that's our intuition, our gut, our intuition, our feelings. We have to feel our way through, folks, and that's seen in this being at the top, right? The Prince of Cups there. All right, see the outcome. Okay, and so we get the Four of Cups, but it's ill disposed. It's upside down. Generally, don't read these upside down. This way, it's overwhelm and divine discontent. This way, the water, the feelings are not going in, they're not flooding into this circle, but it's the opposite. Say the opposite. And so I think that because it came in ill-disposed, the Four of Cups, the guy is sitting at the tree looking at the cups. There's this sense of divine discontent. And yet Spirit is offering another cup, but he's not looking. And so this requires us to look where we thought we would get our salvation. We're not getting our salvation. So we have to look around and see what else is being offered to us at this time. Okay, let's see if I can pull a major arcana. Get the Two of Fire, Convergence, the Mother of Fire, which is the Queen of Wands. And we get the One of Fire. So a lot of fire, a lot of spirit, but that's not a major arcana. So let's see what's underneath. Okay, we get the Sister of Water. And the Sister of Water is the Page of Cups in the other decks. This continues to say that we have to nurture our feeling nature. The Queen, the Princess or the Page of Cups is considered Earth of Water. And so earth and water are the two things that we need where life, where life can grow, right? You can plant a seed in the ground, but if you don't water the seed won't grow. And so what this is asking us to do at the root of this or underneath or what's hidden from us is that this is actually helping us to germinate the seeds of change and the seeds for us to recreate the world in a way where feeling matters and women matter and the earth matters. So on some level, this is helping the feminine, right? It's helping this sense of creating a new world. Because the old world and the old rules aren't working. Remember, the south node of the moon is in Capricorn, and a lot of the structures of power are falling away. And we're being required to feel our feelings, move in the place of Cancer, to nurture ourselves, to nurture others, to nurture the earth. That's the direction forward. We have to let go of all the old ways. And a lot of the idea that somebody from the outside is going to save us, whether it be in some cases Trump. People thought Trump was going to save everything because he said he could. Why? He said it. Or we thought Mueller was going to save everything. But ultimately we have to save ourselves. And part of that is feeling what it is that's most important to us. We can no longer sort of farm out that, our sense of authority, our sense of what's important to us. And then when we figure that out, to fight for it, to have the courage to fight for it. Okay, that's what I want to say. I hope this is helpful to you. It's been very helpful to me. And I will see you again soon. Like, subscribe, and comment. Don't worry, guys. It's not over. It is not over by a long shot. And yet, if we continue to just try to wait around for somebody else to fix it, it ain't going to get fixed either. So it's up to us. Love each other. Love each other. Peace out.